News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide. The choice is clear. Micronesia Renewable Energy. Go solar for zero money down. And Colgate Optic White. Whiter teeth in 1 week. From broadcast to broadband, news you can trust. From the Pacific News Center in Hagåtña, Guam, and broadcasting live in Saipan, here's Clint Rigel and Janella Carrera. PNC Sports with Blake Watson and Rebecca Kim with weather. With your News Now.
Good evening. It's Monday, October the 6th, and you're watching PNC's News Now. I'm Janella Carrera.
And I'm Clint Rigel. Half a day, and thanks for tuning in. Here's what's topping your news tonight. Vong Fong passed through the Marianas rather quickly this morning. And the National Weather Service says the horizon is clear for now. The eye of the typhoon passed near the northern tip of Rota.
Typhoon came through the Mariana zones. It came through pretty fast, about 20 miles an hour. It came from the east-southeast and headed to the north-northwest. It skirted just north of Rota and came through with an intensity of about 105 miles an hour.
National Weather Service forecaster Carl McElroy says, unfortunately for Rota, the southern part of Typhoon Vong Fong's eye wall scraped the northern coast of the island.
So Rota caught the south end of the eye wall. The eye was real narrow, or only about 5 miles wide. So that's kind of unusual for these systems. Usually the eye is much wider. So the fact that the eye was small kind of kept exposure to the eye wall for very short.
McElroy says the strongest winds on Rota were recorded at 80 miles per hour, while the northern part of Guam received some winds in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range. So what does Guam's weather look like on the horizon?
Well, it looks pretty good right now. Only possible candidate for development would be a weak system that's south of Pohnpei right now, but it doesn't present that well on satellite, and none of our models predict that it's going to develop. So horizon looks pretty clear right now, and we could all use a break.
Vong Fong is headed off into the Philippine Sea on a west-northwest track. It's expected to head north in the next few days, where it may pass east of Okinawa.
As an aftermath of Typhoon Vong Fong, the Guam Memorial Hospital experienced minor flooding at the main entrance and leaking coming from the roof. With pictures of linens being used on the floor surfacing on social media, there was a big spark in feedback. PNC's Rizal Romanes has the story.
There was a lot of buzz on social media about pictures of leaks, floods, and caution wet floor signs found at the Guam Memorial Hospital entrance. Some comments say this has been going on for years, and GMH Administrator Joseph Verga agrees. He says this is a 10-year-old problem, and getting the needed repair to the roof is part of their capital improvement plan.
We do have a plan, but I'm going to, we do need to have the roof replaced, and that's going to be one of my priority capital projects for this year, is to identify funding to get the roof fixed. And that's going to really stop the rest of the leaks throughout the hospital.
Verga tells PNC that despite concerning images of linens being used to clean up leaks around the hospital grounds, he says they are either damaged or dirty linen that will not be reused for patients. He says GMH prioritizes its patient floors, which is second floor and up, and points out that most of the flooding and leaks happen on the ground floor. Verga says with every storm that passes, the leaks get worse.
And, they cause cracks in the infrastructure. The roof, for example, is badly in need of replacement. And so over the years, when you have all this rain and water, it causes cracks to widen. The water drops down and burrows deeper. And with each storm, it causes the leaks to get maybe a little more exacerbated than normal.
Verga said he's happy that the legislature passed the bill that would get the gears going on the maternity ward renovations, because that would help take care of the issue with leaks.
Is the courtyard, which is the area that's shuttered right now, but you'll see that part of the project is going to be to enclose that courtyard. And the second story is going to be the expanded nursery.
Rizal Romanes, PNC News.
Fortunately for Guam, there was relatively minimal damage from Vongfong. However, the north did get some strong winds with some gusts clocked up to 70 miles per hour. We checked in with Jigo Mayor Rudy Matsunani. How did your village fare during Typhoon Vongfong?
Pretty good, actually. You know, we had breakfast with trees like this. That's what we had breakfast with. And we've been cutting trees since I think about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Jigo Mayor Rudy Matsunani says that some of his crew have been up since yesterday clearing the roads of debris, like this tree that blocked off an entire street in Jigo. Bob Dorian called the mayor's crew this morning to remove the tree.
How did you and your family do during the typhoon? Were you guys safe and sound?
Well, we feel good that the power is on the whole night. And when I wake up about 3 o'clock this morning, I just looked out and the wind is blowing. And it's not really bad, but a lot of the banana trees fall down on my neighbor, and also this big tree that fell down on the road that blocked the road.
Other than some downed trees, Mayor Matsunani says most of the flooding and damage to his village was minimal. He did, however, have to move a family of 17 into a shelter in the early morning hours.
Had to get 3 pickups and a sedan to go pick them up and transport them when the wind was at its peak last night, kind of putting my people in danger. So that's all we ask. We're here to help, assist, but please, just do it the right way. Don't wait until the storm is at its peak.
And Mayor Matsunani urges the public to check into shelters as soon as possible to avoid putting rescue workers and mayor's staffers in danger.
And as Typhoon Vongfong approached the Marianas this weekend, Guam's hospitality industry did its best to make sure the island's visitors were taken care of. PNC's Betsy Brown takes a look at how our tourists weathered the storm.
Enjoy Guam?
Enjoy, yes.
2 days shine, 1 day rainy, but I'm so happy.
The island's tourists have been making the most of their time on Guam, even though Typhoon Vongfong brought heavy rains and winds as it approached the Mariana Islands over the weekend, canceling plans for outdoor fun.
Marine sports.
Huh?
Yeah. But typhoon.
Yeah.
Not cancel.
Yeah.
All cancel.
Everything canceled?
But Guam enjoy.
You still enjoy?
Enjoy today. Always.
Okay.
Every day.
Hotel staff worked extra hours to make sure guests were entertained through the weekend. Movies were shown in one of the Hilton's ballrooms, and Guam Visitors Bureau Public Information Officer Josh Chikenko says guests throughout Tumon were also kept informed on the weather as well as flight statuses.
The Joint Information Center and the Guam Visitors Bureau have been in touch with our hotel industry partners throughout the evening and throughout yesterday and this morning, just making sure that our hotel guests and visitors are comfortable and safe in Tumon. I talked to some of the hotels yesterday, and they were putting up some special services for the guests.
For those whose flights were canceled or delayed because of the weather, Chikenko says hotels have been accommodating by making sure rooms are available.
That experience that they have, they're going to bring back with them to their home countries or wherever they're from. And it's a great way to make a good impression in saying that Guam really takes care of their guests no matter the situation or the natural disasters that come our way. They recover quickly and they make us feel at home.
With the island in core 4 by this morning and the sun beginning to shine a little bit, Tumon was already busy once again by early this afternoon. Betsy Brown, PNC News.
And over at the airport, several flights were canceled last night and early this morning in anticipation of strong and dangerous winds from Typhoon Vongfong. Delta Airlines and United Airlines announced last night that they would cancel all their inbound and outbound flights for Monday, October the 6th, as the island was placed into Core 1. Meanwhile, other airlines provided updates on their rescheduled flights. We spoke with one Guam resident whose flight got canceled in Cairns, Australia. Here's Mark Radilla.
if we aren't able to head back, we don't know what the plan is from United on whether we're going to go back earlier than the next scheduled flight, which is October 10th. So we're basically been waiting for the response, and everyone I've talked to, whether it be their online customer service or their phone service or the terminal service, everyone says that United is undecided on what to do with that canceled flight.
Both Delta and United announced this morning that they will resume normal operations after midnight tonight. For a full list of rescheduled flights, log on to our website at pacificnewscenter.com.
And it became clear as daylight approached that Typhoon Vongfong was no longer a threat to our island. So little by little, local businesses started opening their doors, some as regularly scheduled, others a little later than usual. Residents, too, took advantage of the extra day off with their kids in tow. Many island residents took advantage of the free day, roaming shopping malls and spending time with their school children who got the day off as all of the Department of Education schools were closed today, while some campuses were being used as shelters. We are here now right in front of Twinkles at the GPO. We're about to step inside to see if there are any kids hanging out with their parents. I know all DOE schools were closed today, so we're going to go inside and check it out. Come on. So you're here with your dad?
Yes.
No school today?
No.
So were you excited when you found out?
Yes. Yes.
Dad, how about you? Did you have to report to work or?
No, but we got to get prepared just in case we get called.
Are you in school?
Oakville High School.
So no school today?
Yes.
So did you have to report to work?
No.
What did you think of it? I mean,
compared to like the past storms we had, this is like not too bad.
And so you decided to come to the mall and just.
Opportunity because he's off and I'm also off. Just decided to come here and just put some time.
Some businesses also prepared for the impending storm. While some had much to do, others knew it would be business as usual.
I was basically getting all the stuff off the floor because GPO actually leaks in this part of the area, so we don't want to get into boxes getting damaged and stuff.
What's it been like since you guys opened this morning? Was it slow?
Yeah. Like my supervisor said, we didn't get any customers until an hour after we opened, and then it's been a little slow for this.
And that's not normal. I mean, you guys normally.
No. Yeah, usually sometimes we even have people waiting.
And all DOE schools are scheduled to reopen tomorrow morning.
All right, what was that you were saying, the guy you interviewed?
I wanted to point out that the Twinkles employee, Richard Johnson, he's also Mr. International.
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations.
As I was walking out, the other employee
Mr.
pointed that out.
One of these days I'm going to run for Mr. EPAN. I'm just kidding.
I think you have to be unmarried to do that.
All right, well, keep watching PNC because the news now continues. We'll tell you how Rhoda fared in the storm.
And did the passing typhoon bring new babies to the island? We have the answer in News Now after this.
I have big news. Bacon and cheese have been stuffed in a crust.
Pizza Hut's new bacon and cheese stuffed crust with hardwood smoked bacon and a blend of 3 cheeses. For a limited time, get a large one topping for just $17.99 and a 2-liter Pepsi for $2 more. Only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Pizza night from Pizza Hut just got a whole lot sweeter with the ultimate Hershey's chocolate chip cookie.
Share 8 large slices of freshly baked cookie goodness packed with Hershey's chocolate chips. Get it for just $5.99 when you order a pizza, including cheesy bites.
And the sweetness, it's just getting started.
Pizza Hut.
Knock, knock. Police. Police re-elect Governor Eddie Baza-Cabo and Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio. Knock, knock. Tank. No, thank you. Please know it is not a joke. We really do care about you. We really do care about each of you.
This is about you getting out to vote for the governor and lieutenant governor who cares about the future of this island, who doesn't divide people as leaders, he brings them together.
I commit this much to you. There are a lot more important things to worry about. Other than the state flower, let's focus on the state of education. That's punto number 1. We have to register our vote for a visionary for educational leadership. None other than the governor, the incumbent Eddie Baza-Cabo. Viva Cabo Tenorio!
Welcome back to News Now on PNC. The worst of the damage from Typhoon Vongfong this morning was just north of us on the island of Rota. The eye of the typhoon passed within 5 miles of Rota and brought 77-mile-an-hour winds at its closest approach. Tomas Mendiola of the Rota Mayor's office told PNC the damage was not bad, but bad enough. Mendiola says the storm devastated the island's farms and that fruit crops were destroyed. Power was out in the central part of the island this morning, but has since been restored. On behalf of the people of Rota, Mendiola thanks the National Weather Service for all their hard work in getting information and images of the storm to the public. Rota is currently preparing for its fiesta, which is planned for this coming Sunday. Mendiola said the mayor would be holding meetings tonight to find out how the typhoon will affect their plans.
With reports of being in the clear from Typhoon Vongfong this morning, residents who sought shelter at schools started to head back home. Our Roselle Romanes visited one of the busiest schools with more than 300 residents sheltered there. Among them was a lady named June, who shares with PNC her story.
As Condition of Readiness 4 was announced this morning, shelters one by one emptied out as residents headed back home. Always one of the busiest, Astumbo Elementary School took in about 370 residents that sought shelter from Typhoon Vongfong. Among them was June and her family.
They have to always go to the school with the people that she lives with, which is just her grandkids and great-grand. So we joined them there.
June tells us that this is what she has to deal with every time there's a storm or typhoon. She says that for most people, the typhoon wasn't a big deal, but to her and her family, it means nowhere to sleep.
They're going to have to rebuild everything out from where everything's safe from getting wet, because it's also come wet when, and the kids, sometimes lay down on the floor. Sometimes they like to play. Even in the room when they're sleeping, they're licking in right above them. So I'm hoping that they can repair that. And this one is worse because it's more water coming inside.
June explains to us that the house belongs to her 75-year-old mother, but her daughter is the one currently residing in the home with her 4 grandchildren. Since everything is soaked, the children will have to sleep at a relative's house. June tells us she's currently unemployed, but doing everything she can to help fix the place up.
I don't want it to rupture when my mom comes back home. We want to make sure it's safe for her again. Because since my stepdad died, it was never rebuilt. And nobody's here to help her. I mean, I know somebody is out there, but I just hope they have the heart to go.
Roselle Romanes, PNC News.
And no major power outages were reported on Guam as Typhoon Vongfong passed the Marianas, but there were several pocket outages reported in the northern part of the island. Guam Power Authority Public Information Officer Art Paris says power was restored to the Dedido and Jigo areas sometime this morning. Machanana was without power for much of the day, but Paris says power was restored to that area before 5 p.m. The rest of the power outages have already been addressed. Water services fared even better, with Guam Waterworks Authority PIO Heidi Ballendorf reporting that there were no village-wide outages. In fact, she says there weren't even any isolated incidences. Because of this, Ballendorf says there is no need to test the water quality.
When our lines do not go dry, it is our practice that we would not need to issue a boil water notice, which we have no intention of doing. So the water is safe to drink. I wish I had a glass right here to drink for everyone. The water is completely safe to drink. However, should the Guam EPA decide to go out and test the water, we will certainly be testing side by side with them.
Ballendorf adds that 105 wells were put on generator power on Sunday in preparation for the storm to ensure water services would not be disrupted.
The hospital's maternity ward was busy during Typhoon Vongfong as several expectant moms filed in last night. OBGYN Dr. Tom Shea says about 20 moms close to their due date came in last night, and out of those 20, 2 delivered during howling winds. There were, however, a total of 11 deliveries, as there were some moms at GMH who were already in labor. Dr. Shea says with the recently passed maternity ward bill, this recent storm was a perfect example of why upgrades are critically needed at GMH. All of the mothers, he points out, had to get shuffled between rooms several times, but overall, he notes, the GMH staff worked extra hard to keep our mothers comfortable.
It's quite an exciting night, and the nursing staff here has been fantastic. They work very hard, and some of them couldn't go home because when you go in Category 1, you have to stay in-house.
Says no one named their baby after Typhoon Vongfong.
Oh, what a shame.
No, that's too bad.
He
no
said
Vong
that
Fong
he gets
baby.
that question every time. If anybody's ever named their child after a typhoon.
All right, well, keep watching because our very own sports typhoon himself, Blake Watson, puts a halt to sports this weekend.
And Rebecca Kim tells you whether we're in the clear. That's ahead of News Now after this.
Let's hear it for Bud Light, the perfect beer for when you take over a town, make me the mayor, call it whatever USA. Then pack it to the brim with so much spontaneous, never thought I'd be doing this awesomeness that it's hard to believe we actually pulled it off, right? Body bowling, roller disco, Bud Light, tiny cars, tiny horses, big celebrities, Bud Light, dancing, karaoke, Bud Light, whatever that is. This guy, this girl, oh my, wow, look at that. Bud Light and Bud Light, then put it on the internet for everyone to see. And whatever else happens.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Find out more at upforwhatever.com.
Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists, continues to spread smiles to children everywhere in Guam through their award-winning Bright Smiles, Bright Futures oral health education program. This campaign has benefited more than 20,000 public school children on Guam with free toothbrushes and education about a lifetime of healthy habits. So let's keep our children excited about oral health throughout the year. With your purchase, Colgate will donate 20 cents back to the Bright Smiles, Bright Futures oral health program for Guam's public schools. There are more than 70 certified BSBF centers on Guam. Find yours today.
Bright Smiles, Bright Futures!
Colgate, #1 brand recommended by dentists.
Is your old ugly tint scaring you? Hats Tinting and Detailing has an October auto tinting special with free tint removal, vacuum, complete wash, glass cleaning, and tire shine. Prices starting at $99. Call or visit us in Upper Tumon across GTA. Hats Tinting and Detailing, 647-SLAM.
Wandering out into this great unknown. And when it's done, believe that I will yell it from that mountain high. I was born free.
Find summer, the Chevy Summer Drive. Now get this 2014 Camaro LS for $28,999 or just $147 per paycheck. Head into AK Chevrolet today.
Hey, Hafa-day. Hope you weathered the storm okay. I'm Blake Watson, and this is PNC Sports. GW Geckos, the top-ranked team in IIAG football going into the playoffs. They had their final test this past weekend against rival FD. A sloppy good time ensued. Here's more.
The Father Duenas Friars riding a 4-game hot streak as they hosted the first-place Geckos from George Washington High. Geckos' defense has been strong all season long, and a little rain and mud sure weren't going to stand in their way. GW able to shut down powerhouse DeAndre Cruz and hold the prolific Friar ground game to 50 yards. Friars not able to do much on offense really at all. Geckos able to get contribution from their offensive unit as well. Wideout Adrian Cruz able to grab a 63-yard swing pass from his quarterback for the game's first TD. More from these two in a minute. On the ensuing Friars drive, that GWD again in the clutch deliver a game-changing turnover to give their offense great field position. A couple of conservative runs later, it's again GW quarterback Brendan Santos finding Adrian Cruz in the back of the end zone after a tip from the FD secondary. The catch is made, 14-0 the score. Cruz turned in 5 catches for 78 yards on the night. Friars not able to find the magic at all. They're shut out by GW in the mud, 19-0 the final.
Live basketball at the UOG Fieldhouse, dubbed the Showdown at the Fieldhouse. The Guam national team took on the PBA Talkin' Texters. We have the highlights in the Budweiser Sports Report.
The PNC Budweiser Sports Report with top headlines and action of all your favorite local sports.
The crowd was out and showing love for the visiting Philippine pro team, the Talkin' Texters. The national team looked great coming out. Guam able to get some early critical buckets to fall. J.P. Cruz, also winner of the three-point contest, showing his long-range ability. Guam national team get the early start and lead. They lead by 9 at the half. Talkin' Texters, not a pro team for no reason. They're able to reassess and change their game plan during the break. Texters come out with a purpose in the second half. Former Guam Red Bull, current PBA Texter Larry Fanasir was key in the Texter scoring surge. They go on to outscore Guam 33-14 in the third quarter alone. The fourth quarter was all Texters. Matt Guanelas, he scores 8 of his 12 to help put Guam away. Guam's Sevi Sasuiko had a solid game, though. He led Guam with 22 points despite the loss. Everyone gets a shot in this one. National team head coach E.J. Calvo plays every player for the professional competition exposure. Guam national team loses in the end, though, 94-66, the final at the Fieldhouse.
This sports report was brought to you by Budweiser. Grab some buds.
That'll do it for PNC Sports. All IIAAG events, by the way, this evening have been canceled. Stay with PNC Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or PacificNewsCenter.com for the latest sports updates. I'm Blake Watson. See you at the game.
When you're ready to turn up your night, turn to Bud Light Platinum, the next generation of smooth. Brewed with top-shelf ingredients for a bold, slightly sweet finish. Turn up your night and make it platinum. When you're ready to turn up your night, turn to Bud Light Platinum, the next generation of smooth. Brewed with top-shelf ingredients for a bold, slightly sweet finish. Turn up your night and make it platinum.
This silver dollar has been in our family for generations. And now I want you to... Never mind.
No dollar is safe. The new Dollar Cravings menu. 11 craveable creations, each for $1.
Taco Bell's Beefy Fritos Burrito. Crunchy Fritos, seasoned beef, and warm nacho cheese sauce, all for just $1. One of 11 craveable creations on Taco Bell's new Dollar Cravings menu, each for just $1. Only $1? Who approved this?
Hey, rejoice! Typhoon warning is finally over, and thank you so much for visiting our Facebook and website over the weekend. I told ya, our news team is the hardest working team ever. Welcome to PNC's weather forecast. I'm Rebecca Kim. A typhoon is finally gone, but Guam will still face numerous showers this week. High surf advisory is still in effect until 4 p.m. Wednesday. And take a look. This evening, we only expect isolated showers, but after midnight, it will rain, and it will continue till Thursday night. And going to wind forecast, we expect south winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, but tomorrow direction will change to southeast, then back to south winds on Wednesday. And talking about temperature here, it will be quite colder than usual. Highs remain 83, and oh gosh, that is about 5 degrees lower than usual, and lows remain 75 degrees. And on Saipan, it will be raining after midnight through Thursday night as well. And that's it for me. And please make sure to keep your body warm so that you won't catch cold. Good night.
Looking to tint your ride? With 1-year, 3-year, and lifetime warranties on 3M tinting film, Pat's Tinting and Detailing is the place to go for all your tinting needs. Complete detailing packages start at $169. They also carry base-proof window tint. So cool your car down with tinting from Pat's. Located across GTA and Upper Tumon, call 647-SLAM today.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious shareable chicken McNuggets, 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
a day. Here's your community calendar. The Archdiocese of Agana announces that the annual Walk for Life, which was scheduled for this past Sunday, has been moved to this coming Sunday, October 12th. The event is a prayer gathering and a peaceful rally against abortion coordinated by the Guam Catholic Pro-Life Committee. They'll meet at 2 p.m. at the Agana Cathedral. Let Park Rangers from Warren the Pacific National Historical Park take you on a hike to the PD Guns this weekend. Meet at Veterans Cemetery on Route 6 at 2 p.m. on Sunday to caravan to the short hiking trail that leads to 3 large coastal defense guns in PD. Rangers will also tell you another reason why they are particularly unique, other than the fact that they're in their original positions. The Guam Symphony Society is excited to present Disney in concert for the first show of their 48th season. The performance dates are Saturday, October 18th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, October 19th at 3 p.m. at Southern High School. Like, share, and follow at Guam Symphony on Facebook and Instagram for a chance to win free tickets. Email news@k57.com to see your event on the community calendar.
Your community calendar is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
That's it for News Now. From all of us here at PNC, thanks for watching. Stay molly and have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, that's the song.
at the southern part of Typhoon Vongfang's eye wall.